Trade between monkeys and bananas. Once upon a time, there were just strange lands. A place called Monkeyland is home to thousands of clever, funny monkeys, but it lacks one important thing. Banana. Not far away is Bananaland, where bananas grow so much that they fall on the street. But in Bananaland, there aren't many monkeys. Monkeyland begins to feel miserable because he doesn't have enough bananas to live, eat breakfast, make smoothies, or play in his free time. Meanwhile, Bananaland has so many bananas that it has to be sold off. So the monkeys of Monkeyland began by bananas from Bananaland, purchasing goods from other countries the monkeys call import. And Bananaland happily sells bananas everywhere. That is export. Thanks to that, monkeys have bananas to eat and bananas have a place to consume. Everyone is happy. Everyone is happy. Monkey and Bananaland became close business friends, from bananas to taxes. But then one day, the Monkeyland government, where monkeys wearing suits and ties sit at the meeting table, suddenly announced, "From now on, all bananas imported from Bananaland will be taxed." What is tax? The monkeys wondered. Imagine this. When a monkey orders food delivered to his cave, in addition to the price of the food, the monkey also has to pay extra delivery fee. The same goes for tariffs. That's one additional fees is calculated for each banana imported from Bananaland to Monkeyland. But this time, the person collecting the fee is not the shipper, but monkey government. So even though Bananaland's banana price is still cheap, when Monkeyland buys it, it has to spend more money, not for Bananaland, but for its government. The total amount of money to pay is higher, the monkey's wallet is lighter, and the fun is also somewhat less. The government calls it that tariffs, or in technical language, called tariff, and it applies to everything imported from the outside. Tax can be a specific number, for example, for each banana, pay one more coin. Or taxes could also be percentage on the value of the item. For example, bananas cost 10 dong. If the tax is 20%, pay an additional 2 dong. This type of tax is called ad valorem tax. Sounds a bit difficult to remember, but it's just a way of saying calculated as a percentage of value. And then, things gradually got more complicated. A ripe, golden banana, tax 1 dong. A banana that's still green, tax 2 dong. Even though they are all bananas, the officials said bananas are of different stages, have different values, so the tax must also be different. Even bananas cannot escape the tangled bureaucracy. When there are nitrogen monoxide taxes, freedom and balance. Now, imagine if there were no tariffs at all, no extra fees, no confusing paperwork, no percentage calculations headaches. There are only bananas and monkeys happily trading. That's called free trade, aka free trade. When monkey nations trade with each other without being hindered by tariff barriers or strict regulations, everything becomes easier, faster, and more efficient. But then, the monkey government started watching trade balance, a kind of statistical table of the amount of bananas going in and out of the country. If Monkeyland sell more bananas compared to the amount of bananas they buy from other countries, they are exporting more than they import. That is trade surplus, trade surplus. The monkey government will grin and say, "Look, we're making a profit." On the contrary, if Monkeyland import more bananas, the amount they sell, that is, by more than they sell, is called trade deficit, trade deficit. At this time, the monkey government began to worry, rub its forehead, and discuss. They do not like the feeling of being in debt to other countries. But in reality, a surplus or deficit is not entirely good or bad. It just is a result of trade flows, and depending on management, it can be an opportunity or a challenge. When taxes are applied, bananas are nitrogen monoxide longer tasty. Once the Monkeyland government started imposing tariffs on imported bananas, things quickly changed. Price of bananas imported from Bananaland skyrocketed. Not because Bananaland is more expensive, but because Monkeyland has to pay more tax for our government. Domestic banana stores, which previously had to compete fiercely with cheap imported bananas, now breathe a sigh of relief. No more cheap bananas. Now is the time for domestic bananas to shine, but is that really a good thing? Domestic bananas, which are not abundant and not as delicious as imported bananas, now becomes almost the only choice for ordinary monkeys. The competition disappeared, so did the quality overslept according to. There is no one left to fear, so domestic bananas can ... set their prices at will, and then whatever happens, happens. Domestic bananas' price increase only slightly lower than imported bananas, just enough to be chosen, but still makes the monkey's wallet shrink. Monkeyland now stands between two options. Pay more money to buy better imported bananas. Good bite your teeth-eat domestic bananas. A bit more wilted, less sweet, but a few cents cheaper. Both are unhappy. Both make the monkey feel like he is at a disadvantage. What does the Monkeyland government think of taxing? So, in the end, why Monkeyland government decided to impose a tax on bananas, something that monkey people love so much? There are many reasons. Sometimes it's a noble reason, sometimes it's very monkey. First reason, they said they wanted to protect the domestic banana industry. There are fewer bananas grown in Monkeyland, and the quality is not as good. But if Bananaland bananas continue to flood in, no one will want to buy homegrown bananas, so they created one price barrier so that domestic bananas are not squeezed to death by cheap bananas from outside. Second reason, maybe the Monkeyland government jealous with Bananaland. Our bananas are not as good as other people's bananas. They choose to increase taxes to create difficulties. Third reason, tax is also one political negotiation tool. The Monkeyland government can use taxes to exert pressure in larger negotiations, like, if you don't agree to reduce gas prices, we will increase the banana tax. And finally, the simplest reason, money. Yes, the Monkeyland government wants to collect more money to spend on the budget. And bananas, the most popular item, became easy source of income. When people pay the price for taxes, the Monkeyland government probably thinks taxes are the way to go helps domestic bananas sell more or to earn more budget. But they didn't think about one thing. The people who suffer the most are the monkeys who are doing small businesses. Not all businesses in Monkeyland grow bananas. Many monkeys importing equipment, supplies, banana presses, and banana trucks from Bananaland to maintain jobs. When tariffs increase, so do all imported goods. Not just bananas become more expensive. Costs increase, profits decrease, small banana shops began to tremble. One monkey who owns a banana smoothie shop, which used to have a lot of customers, now has to pay twice as much for an imported blender. Banana retail monkeys cannot compete anymore. Surname had to close and put up a sign liquidation of sad bananas. Meanwhile, the big banana company, with many sources of capital and sophisticated accounting tricks, was only slightly affected. They're still alive and well, and that's not all ... These items expected to launch in the future: improved banana products, frozen bananas, convenient banana juice, all postponed because costs are increasing too quickly. All investment, research, and development plans are restrained because of a decision called increased taxes. Result: monkey right pay higher prices for everything. Monkey stress, loss of motivation. And the banana industry, which is the nation's pride, began to ... fade away when taxes go beyond things you can handle. So far, we've only talked about bananas. The good's tangible. Monkeys you can hold it with your hands, smell it with your nose, and throw it at each other if you're not satisfied. But there are things can't touch, so what? do they have to pay taxes? The world is changing. Monkey begins read e-books instead of paper books. Monkey drawing AI paintings, play virtual music, first golden banana NFT, and also live stream for sale. Digital heart, and so a new question appears. If the goods are digital, do not cross physical borders, do we need to pay taxes? Some monkey governments are starting to talk digital tax, i.e. taxes on data, software, images, sounds, all monkey downloads from Bananaland cloud, and yet ... Some governments also create another type of tax, environmental tax. They said, if Bananaland pollutes the monkey forest by growing bananas, then that product needs to be taxed higher. And so carbon tax was born. Calculate the amount of CO gas emitted during production. Bananas grown with chemicals, taxed. Bananas shipped by oil train, taxed. Clean bananas, organic bananas, bananas grown by monkeys singing meditation music. Tax deduction possible. So now taxes are not just money, it is also a way for government affects the way monkeys live, consume, and also the ethics of consumption, the real banana war. When monkeys are nitrogen monoxide longer playing, do you think the story of taxes and bananas is just an imaginary example to make it easier to understand? No, this really happened. In 1993, there was a war without gunfire, but full of tension broke out around ... bananas indeed. At that time, European monkeys decided to help monkey nations of the Caribbean, places that were once colonized, have a weak economy, and rely on banana cultivation. To support friends, European monkeys tax reduction for bananas imported from the Caribbean, helping them sell more bananas. Such a beautiful action. It seemed like everyone was clapping ... but no. American monkeys is not funny at all. They also export bananas, but do not receive tax breaks. They said, why is it so biased? Bananas are bananas. Why do Caribbean bananas get preferential treatment and American bananas don't? So America retaliatory taxation onto other European goods, not bananas, but completely unrelated products like wine, meat, and perfume. The war of words lasted long and was as tense as a string. And finally, WTO World Trade Organization, which in the monkey universe is playfully called World Trade Orangutan, had to step in to intervene. This banana war sounds simple, already lasted nearly 20 years. Europe was forced to reduce taxes on American bananas to end the conflict. When monkeys know to unite, the world also soft. Finally, after all the bananas, from imports, tariffs, trade wars, to environmental and digital taxes, we realize one simple thing. Economics is not just numbers, it's also how we treat each other. Therefore, to thank the 240 members who have joined the Primate Economics Tribe, which spreads financial knowledge to monkeys in an easy-to-understand and humorous way, we have donate $500 to the organization Save the Chimps. This is a monkey conservation and rescue center in Florida, a place to shelter monkeys who have been imprisoned in laboratories, in the entertainment industry, or kept as pets. Those monkeys, even though they were hurt, can now live freely, peacefully, and be truly loved. So always remember one thing, not only in economics, but also in life, apes together strong. If only monkeys knew how to unite powerful and incomparable. Because this world is big enough for everyone ... bananas, monkeys, and love.